If you do decide to come here by train, you have to get off at the deserted station at King's Nimpton. But don't forget to tell the guard you want to stop, otherwise the train will just whiz through. And it's about the only thing that does whiz round here. Driving down these narrow lanes makes you feel you travel back in time. And I bet some of these hedgerows have been here for centuries, and the only vehicles I've seen so far seem to be tractors. My destination is the High Bullen Estate just outside South Malton. Set in 60 acres of parkland, this isolated Victorian mansion will be my base for this short holiday break to North Devon. And up here on the viewing tower, you get to see the countryside at its best. All 360 degrees of it, and from here you can see the Tor Valley and Dartmoor and the Mole Valley and Exmoor, and the views are absolutely spectacular. That is if you're not afraid of heights like I am. But if you are a vertigo sufferer, you can retire to your room to enjoy the sights from the comfort of your armchair. Golf is very popular here, and the splendid 18-hole course is free for guests. And do you have to be a particular handicap before you can come and play here?
No, anyone's welcome, from real beginner to professional.
Well, that's great. You'll be happy to know I might better come and give you a game then.
I'm sure you'll be more than welcome. Okay, Shaun, we're on the first hole. It's 340 yards, par 4, dogleg left. You're not looking for length this time, it's accuracy that counts. So maybe a 5-iron off the tee for safety will be your best bet. So, let's see what you can do, and off you go. Well, Shaun, we should find your ball up on the left-hand side with a nice position to play up to the flag.
Right, up on the dog leg left.
On the dog leg left, yes. Green's guarded left and right with bunkers, but it's not too long a shot to play up to the green.
Well, Paul, this really is a fabulous 19th, and it's probably a hole that for once I can advise you on. Not far from the estate is the country's largest honey farm, with 1,500 hives. Luckily, this glass separates me from some 60,000 bees living here in this comb. It's taken the bees 2 summers to build it, and they use the comb for storing honey and raising their young. And bee products make wonderful souvenirs. If there's any left by the time you get home, that is. This famous crystal manufacturer attracts over 300,000 visitors a year. And this is the factory where it's all made. It's very hot, and as you can hear, it's very noisy, but it's quite amazing. All the men down here are divided into teams, and the team down there is divided into 9 men, and they're just making one tankard with a handle on it. Neighbouring shop, you can buy good quality factory seconds at a fraction of the cost. Champagne flutes under £4 each, and you can't see anything wrong with them. I think I'll take a couple. Rosemore is the famous garden owned by the Royal Horticultural Society. So John, you're the superintendent here. What is it that Rosemore actually specialise in?
Well, Rosemore isn't a specialist garden as such. We're the Society's first regional garden. And to do that, we actually have to demonstrate as many aspects of horticulture as possibly can. So it's all sorts, roses, herbaceous, fruit and vegetables, things like that.
All right. And how many visitors do you get a year?
We get comfortably around about 92,000, 93,000 people, and we could get a few more than that, but at the moment that's the level.
Really? So there must be an awful lot of weeding and deadheading to be done.
Oh, there's masses, Shaun. And if you'd just like to come along here, I'm sure I can find some for you.
Oh dear, right. And he meant it too. But it's the natural landscape that makes this area of North Devon so stunning. And while you're here, you should get out and about for a day and cross Exmoor to visit the twinned coastal villages of Linton and Lynmouth. The cliffs are so steep here that they had to build this funicular railway, and it takes you from Linton, 500 feet, down to Lynmouth. The train operates on a simple system of weight transference, using massive 700-gallon water tanks. These are simply filled at the top and emptied at the bottom, causing the lower car to be pulled up as the other one descends. Linlith dates back to the 16th century, but some of the village was rebuilt following a flooding disaster in 1952. A whole year's rainfall came rushing down from the moors in just one night, taking with it a row of cottages and 34 lives. But there are still reminders of the flood, such as these houses behind me, where people were rescued from the top floor. A few miles up the Lynn River is the beauty spot of Watersmeet, set in a valley of mature woodland. And you can enjoy it whilst you have your cream tea, and of course with plenty of local clotted cream. One of the many activities you can take part in at the hotel where I stayed is fishing, and you are provided with a ghillie to help you out. So Peter, I'm a bit unsure. What is it that a ghillie actually does?
Well, a ghillie is a Scottish expression which means fishing servant. That's where the whole thing started. And a ghillie is there to show people that can fish, that are able to cast, show them where the fish lie, where to put the fly, the type of fly that is suitable for this particular river, etc. And so you're basically, as it says, you're a fishing servant, really.
All right, so people who can fish, you show them where the fish are, and people like myself that haven't got a clue how to fish, you teach us how to cast and all the rest of it.
Yes, that's right, and I'm going to make a fisherman out of you today, I'm sure.
Right,
so let's have a go. Let's have a go, right.
So we get in the water, do we?
We get in the water here,
hence all the rubber wear.
Hence the waders, yes. So if I go down first. Yes, it's a nice brown trout, about a pound. These are the ones we put back in. Yep.
All right.
Yes, he's a very nice fish indeed.
Don't worry, fella, you'll be home soon. Oh, very nice. There's a certain magic to be found in this part of North Devon. It's the sort of place where you'd expect to find witches, fairies, or gnomes. And here at the Gnome Reserve, they take things very seriously indeed. There are over 1,000 gnomes scattered throughout the woodland here, and wearing a gnome hat whilst you visit is compulsory. And if you thought that was unusual, take a look at this. At the Big Sheep outside of Bideford, you can see sheep like you've never seen them before. And you can even buy sheep milk cheese, ice cream, and sheep milk fudge. Not bad at all, that. This is probably the most famous village in North Devon, Clovelly, and they say it all belongs to just one man. So John, is it true you actually own the whole village?
It's true, my family has been owned this village for 250 years and we're responsible for its maintenance. And indeed one of the previous owners, Christine Hamlin, did a lot of restoration work, and that was the date that she restored this particular cottage.
So John, why the donkeys?
This is our traditional means of transporting Clovelly, donkeys and sledges.
Really?
Yes, we carry everything down on them and certainly everything up.
Everything, so even the beer barrels for the pub?
Well, anyway, the empties.
That's the way I like them. It's quite a steep walk through the whole village, but it would be a shame to miss the pretty harbour at the bottom. And if you can't be bothered to walk back up, just get in the Land Rover.
Hi guys. Hi from the start.
The beaches here are rugged and beautiful, just like the neighbouring moorland. And most of the time, you have the beauty all to yourself. Well, if you live in the city like I do, there's nothing better than to come to North Devon, see the countryside and get some serious peace and quiet. Yeah, really.